English Leap Podcast.
Learn easy English with Speak English Like a Pro. Hey, English learners. Welcome back to the English Leap Podcast, your cozy place to learn easy English through real-life conversations and real feelings at the same time. And as always, I'm here with...
Jason, hello everyone.
How's your week going, everyone?
We hope you are doing great.
We really hope so. Okay, Jason, what are we talking about today?
Yeah, I want to start today with 3 words that I think every single person on this planet has either said, heard, or desperately wanted to hear at some point in their life.
3 words? I think everyone can't wait to hear these 3 words. Tell us.
I love you.
Simple. 3 words, and yet somehow the most complicated sentence in any language.
Because those 3 words mean completely different things depending on who says them, who hears them, and what has actually been built between 2 people.
Sometimes those 3 words mean everything, and sometimes they mean almost nothing.
And the difference between those 2 versions is exactly what today is about.
Because there is love, and then there is real love, and they are not always the same thing.
And today we want to talk about real love, not the version from films or songs or Valentine's Day cards.
The version that shows up during hard times, when nothing is going right and someone is still there.
The version that is not always pretty or exciting or easy.
But is always, always worth it.
And while we have this conversation, your English grows in the most human and most meaningful direction possible, because the language of real love is the language of real life.
This is a B1 level episode. Warm, honest, and simple. We will explain the important vocabulary as we go, and at the end, we will have our word tour with 10 beautiful expressions from today.
Before we begin, one small request. If this podcast makes your English feel like something you actually want to speak rather than something you have to study, please like this episode and subscribe to the English Leap podcast. It means everything to us.
And in the comments today, we want you to answer this question in English. What is the difference between love and real love? Just write what you think. No wrong answers. We read every single comment.
Okay, let us start with a story, a very short one.
Yay, love stories!
So, there was a couple, together for 11 years, and someone asked the wife, "What is the most romantic thing your husband has ever done for you?"
And what did she say?
She did not mention a holiday. She did not mention a gift or a surprise or a grand occasion. She said, "Every morning for 11 years, he has gotten up before me and turned the heating on so the house is warm when I wake up."
Oh.
Every single morning for 11 years, without once being asked, without once mentioning it, without once expecting to be praised for it.
And that's it. That's the whole story of real love in one sentence.
No drama, no performance, just one person quietly making sure another person is never cold in the morning.
And when you hear that story, something happens inside you because you recognize it. Even if your experience of love looks different, you recognize the quality of it.
The consistency, the attention, the doing something for someone not because it's convenient, but because they matter.
That recognition is what today is about, helping you see real love clearly, in English, in your own life.
Okay, here's the first thing we want to say about real love, and it might surprise you.
What is it?
Real love is boring.
Boring.
In the best possible way. Hear me out. The falling in love stage is exciting, new, electric, full of uncertainty and butterflies and checking your phone every 30 seconds.
The butterfly stage.
The butterfly stage is wonderful, but it's also unstable. You can't build a life on butterflies. They're too unpredictable.
Real love settles. It becomes steady. It loses the electricity and gains something more valuable.
Safety, reliability, the knowledge that this person will be here tomorrow and next week and next year.
And a lot of people mistake that settling for the love disappearing. They feel less nervous around the person, less desperate to impress them, less obsessed with every detail of every interaction.
And they think, oh no, the feeling is gone. Maybe this isn't the right person.
When actually what happened is the relationship grew up.
It moved from exhilarating to sustaining, and sustaining is what you actually need for a real life.
Think of it like this. Excitement is like fireworks. Beautiful, bright, impossible to ignore, but over in minutes.
Real love is like a fireplace. Not as dramatic, but it's warm every day. It heats the whole house. You can sit next to it for years.
The fireplace, not the fireworks.
And when you understand that distinction, you stop running away from the settling feeling. You start recognizing it as the gift it actually is.
Okay, let's talk about what real love looks like up close, because I think people know the big definition, but they miss the details.
The details are everything.
Real love pays attention, not the kind of attention you perform when you're trying to impress someone, the unglamorous, ordinary attention of someone who genuinely notices you.
They notice when your energy is different, when something is bothering you before you name it, when you're pretending to be fine and almost but not quite convincing.
The almost convincing.
The I'm fine that has a very specific tone that one person in the world knows means the complete opposite.
Real love knows your I'm fine tone.
Perfectly.
Real love also knows your worst qualities, the things you're not proud of, the habits that are hard to love, the fears that make you difficult sometimes.
And staying anyway, not because they're blind to those things, but because they see the whole picture, and the whole picture is worth staying for.
That's different from the falling in love stage. In the falling stage, people fall in love with the best version you present, the version that's trying hard and putting its best self forward.
Real love falls in love with the Tuesday version, the tired, unbrushed hair, slightly grumpy before coffee, worried about something version.
The Tuesday version.
The one that nobody photographs, the one that's completely real.
And someone choosing the Tuesday version is choosing you, not the performance of you, actual you.
And that choice, made repeatedly every day in full knowledge of who you are, is the most profound kind of love that exists.
Profound means deep and meaningful in a way that touches something fundamental. And being chosen fully, seen completely, and still wanted, that's one of the most profound human experiences possible.
Okay, now I want to talk about something that people rarely say out loud about real love, because it sounds unromantic.
What is it?
Real love is work.
Not what the Valentine's card said.
Not at all, but it's true and important. Real love is not just a feeling that maintains itself automatically. It's something two people actively build and maintain together.
Like a garden.
Exactly, like a garden. A garden doesn't stay beautiful by accident. Someone has to water it, remove the weeds, give it time and attention.
And if you ignore a garden, even a beautiful one, it doesn't stay beautiful. It gradually becomes something else.
And relationships are the same. They need regular tending, regular attention, regular honest conversations.
And one of the most important forms of tending a relationship is what I want to call the repair conversation.
The repair conversation. Tell us.
Every relationship has moments of friction, small misunderstandings, hurt feelings, moments when something was said that landed wrong or something needed was not given.
Every single relationship, without exception, including the healthiest and most loving ones.
And the difference between relationships that grow stronger over time and ones that quietly deteriorate is not the absence of friction.
It's what you do after the friction.
The repair conversation is when two people come back together after something difficult and say, "That did not feel good. Can we talk about it?"
Not to win an argument, not to prove who was right, to understand each other more accurately than they did before.
And every successful repair conversation does something remarkable. It deepens the trust.
Because it proves that difficulties do not end the relationship, they are just part of it.
And a relationship that has survived difficulties honestly is stronger than one that has never been tested, because you know it can hold weight.
You know it can hold weight. That is such a good way to put it.
You have tested the foundation, and it held.
Okay, let us talk about something lighter, because real love is not only serious and profound, real love is also funny.
Oh, yes, this is important.
Real love has an inside language, private jokes that make no sense to anyone outside the relationship, references to things that happened years ago that still make both people laugh.
The jokes that have been funny for so long that you've both forgotten why they started.
You are laughing, but neither of you can explain the origin anymore.
And that shared laughter, that private world of jokes and references that belongs only to two people, that is one of the most intimate things that exists.
Because it means you've built a history together, a private language, a world between you that did not exist before you met.
And losing someone who knew your private language is one of the deepest griefs a person can experience. Because you don't just lose the person, you lose that whole private world.
You lose that whole private world.
Which tells you something important about what real love is. It's not just a feeling toward a person, it's an entire world built with them.
A world that only exists because both of you exist.
And protecting that world, choosing it every day, watering the garden, having the repair conversation, turning the heating on before they wake up.
That is the whole job description of real love.
The most important job description in the world.
With absolutely no salary and complete benefits.
The complete benefits being a warm house and someone who knows your "I'm fine" tone.
Worth everything. Absolutely worth everything.
Okay, our final thought before the word tour.
Yes.
To our English learners specifically, real love in English sounds like simple sentences said with full meaning behind them.
Not complicated vocabulary, not impressive grammar, just honest words spoken to the right person at the right moment.
I noticed you seemed quiet today. Are you okay?
I'm really glad you're in my life.
I don't always say this, but you matter to me more than I show.
That was hard. Thank you for staying.
None of those sentences are complicated. All of them are real.
And real is the only kind of English, like the only kind of love, that actually changes anything.
So practice the real kind. It's the only kind worth speaking.
Word tour time, 10 expressions from today. Simple, powerful, and permanently yours.
Listen, repeat out loud, feel each one.
First expression, consistent.
Consistent means doing the same thing repeatedly over time without stopping or changing. Real love is consistent. It's not love only on good days. It shows up the same way on hard ones.
For example, what made her trust him completely wasn't one grand moment. It was that he was consistent. The same kindness on ordinary days as on special ones. No performance, just steady, reliable care.
Or, consistent practice in English matters more than occasional intense study. Small daily contact with the language compounds over time into something remarkable. Repeat, consistent.
Consistent.
Slowly, consistent.
Next expression, sustaining.
Sustaining means giving strength and support over a long period of time, something that keeps you going. Real love moves from exhilarating to sustaining, less exciting but more nourishing.
For example, the relationship wasn't thrilling anymore, but it was deeply sustaining. It gave both of them the stability and warmth from which everything else in their lives grew.
Or a sustaining habit is one that feeds you rather than drains you, one that leaves you with more energy than it costs. Repeat, sustaining.
Sustaining.
Take your time. Sustaining.
Next expression, unglamorous.
Unglamorous means not exciting or impressive in appearance. Ordinary, not the kind of thing that photographs well or makes a good story at a party, but often the most important kind of thing.
For example, the most loving acts in any relationship are often unglamorous. Sitting with someone in silence, doing the dishes without being asked, remembering something small that mattered to them.
Or the unglamorous daily work of learning a language is what produces the results that everyone admires. Nobody sees the 10,000 hours. They only see the fluency. Repeat, unglamorous.
Unglamorous.
Slowly. Unglamorous.
Next expression. Friction.
Friction in a relationship means tension, disagreement, or conflict. Small, uncomfortable moments when two people want different things or see something differently. Friction is not the opposite of love, it's part of it.
For example, they had friction sometimes, moments when something was misunderstood or when needs went unmet, but they had learned to treat friction as information rather than as a threat to the relationship.
Or, friction in learning is also healthy. The slight discomfort of being challenged is where growth lives. Too easy means too slow. Repeat, friction.
Friction.
Take your time. Friction.
Next expression. Deteriorate.
To deteriorate means to become progressively worse over time. When something deteriorates, it doesn't collapse suddenly. It gradually weakens until the damage becomes visible.
For example, the relationship didn't end dramatically. It deteriorated slowly through years of small things left unsaid and small needs left unaddressed, until one day the distance between them was too wide to cross.
Or health deteriorates when ignored, not overnight, gradually, which is why small daily habits matter more than we think when we are still feeling well. Repeat, deteriorate.
Deteriorate.
Take your time. Deteriorate.
Next expression. Tending.
Tending means giving regular care and attention to something so that it grows and thrives. You tend a garden, you tend a relationship, you tend your own well-being. All require the same quality of consistent, gentle attention.
For example, she thought of their relationship as something that needed tending, not fixing when broken, tending while still healthy, regular attention before problems began.
Or, tending to your English means giving it regular, gentle contact, not studying until you exhaust yourself, just consistent care that keeps it growing. Repeat, tending.
Tending.
Take your time. Tending.
Next expression. Intimate.
Intimate means closely personal and private, involving a deep knowledge of another person. Intimacy is not only physical, it's the closeness that comes from being truly known by someone else.
For example, the most intimate thing about their relationship wasn't anything dramatic. It was that she could say anything to him. The embarrassing things, the uncertain things, the things she had never said to another person.
Or, real intimacy in any relationship, friendship or romantic, is built through repeated small moments of honesty. Each one deepens the trust until the space between two people becomes genuinely safe. Repeat, intimate.
Intimate.
Slowly, intimate.
Next expression. Reliable.
Reliable means consistently trustworthy, always doing what you say you'll do, being someone others can count on without worrying whether you'll show up or disappear.
For example, she wasn't the most exciting person she had ever met, but she was the most reliable, and she came to understand over time that reliability was one of the most profound forms of love, showing up every time.
Or, reliable English is built through consistent practice rather than occasional bursts of study. Reliability in learning comes from routine, not inspiration. Repeat, reliable.
Reliable.
Take your time. Reliable.
Next expression. Fundamental.
Fundamental means forming the essential foundation of something, so basic and important that everything else depends on it. When something is fundamental, removing it changes everything.
For example, feeling safe with another person is fundamental to real love. Without safety, there can be closeness, but not true intimacy. The safety must come first.
Or, listening carefully is fundamental to good communication. Without it, everything else, the vocabulary, the grammar, the confidence, loses much of its power. Repeat, fundamental.
Fundamental.
Slowly. Fundamental.
And our last expression today, tending to.
To tend to something means to give it regular care and attention, to look after it carefully and consistently so it remains healthy and grows. You can tend to a person, a relationship, a habit, a dream.
For example, he made a deliberate decision to tend to the relationship the way you tend to something precious.
Small daily gestures, regular honest conversations, consistent presence even when life was busy.
Or tend to your English the way you tend to something you love, with patience, with regular attention, with the belief that the care you give it today will return to you in ways you cannot yet see. Repeat tending to.
Tending to.
Take your time. Tending to.
That was our word tour for today. 10 expressions that belong in every real conversation about love and life and the things that actually matter.
And here is our final thought, the last thing we want to leave inside you today.
Somewhere in your life right now, there is a person who turns the heating on before you wake up.
Maybe literally, maybe in a different way. Maybe they're the person who checks in on day 4 when everyone else has forgotten, or the person who knows your "I'm fine" tone.
Or the person who has heard your story 14 times and makes space for the 15th.
And if you have that person, tell them today, in English, in simple, honest words.
You do not need a special occasion. You do not need perfect sentences. You just need to mean it.
And meaning it is the one thing you have always been capable of, in any language, including this one.
Including this one.
If today's episode made your English warmer and your heart a little fuller, please like it, subscribe to the English Leap podcast, and share it with someone who needs to be reminded what real love looks like.
Because everyone deserves to recognize it when it's standing right in front of them.
This is Mia.
And this is Jason.
And you have been listening to the English Leap podcast.
Bye.
Go find your heating person. And if you already have one, go tell them. Your progress doesn't end here. To continue advancing your English skills, click on the next video or explore the additional videos we've thoughtfully selected for you.